Hey! Welcome back to the shed. Now, as many of you remember, if you watched my video yesterday, I was talking about estate pipes. And because it was a VR to the Unicorn Piper for his 900 subs giveaway. Now, if we continue today where I left off yesterday, AmyMc, Pipe Pitfalls and Pratfalls, has asked of us, what are your unicorn pipes? Now, before I delve too deep into that, I am still smoking because I'm recording the same day as yesterday, but publishing different days. I don't like to overload you guys with me. I am smoking my Brebbia Pura 943 with some Newminster Norway pipe cut. Now, AmyMc has posed an interesting question. What are our unicorn pipes? And by that meaning pipes that we would like to find, and I'm going to say on the estate market, because they might be a little bit too expensive on the new market, or you just like the characteristics of a pipe that is a manufacturer that's no longer made. Now, I have three of them. The first two are kind of expensive ones, and the third is one that I'm not sure if it's still being made or not, but you can find them on the eBay. Okay, so first one, Castello. I think Castello pipes are absolutely awesome, and specifically the Shape 55. I would love to have a Castello Shape 55, but as many know, Castellos are rather expensive. I am on a fairly limited budget. So I would like to find a Castello Shape 55 on the estate market. And I don't know, just there's something about that very jaunty Shape 55. You know, it's got that very pronounced chin on it. So that's number one. Number two, I would like to find an Ashton. Now, Ashton pipes, from what I understand, are made by a person who used to work for Dunhill. And I can understand that Dunhill pipes, because of their cost, are a unicorn pipe for a lot of people. They just don't do it for me. But I would love to have an Ashton. Just very classic British pipes, you know, very classic lines. There's rustication and smooths are both brilliant, beautiful pipes in my opinion. And those two companies are still actually in production, so, but just expensive. And number three, I recently learned of from a video that Cane Rod Piper did for, I think he's restoring a pipe for Classic Fly Tire, and it is a Kiko, which is an African meerschaum pipe, not a Turkish. And there is a gigantic bee right there. Okay, it flew away. It flew out the window. Anyways, back on topic. Kiko, African meerschaum. From what is now the Republic of Tanzania, I believe. And you know, one of the things about it is it's you know, more slightly unusual. You know, usually when somebody speaks of a meerschaum, it's a Turkish meerschaum and not African meerschaum. And Turkish meerschaum is almost always brilliant, not brilliantly, but pure white. absolutely white, as opposed to African meerschaum comes in a myriad of different colors, from white to brown to yellow, just a lot of different colors. And from what I have done research-wise, it carves a little bit differently than the Turkish meerschaum as well. But I would really, really love to have a Kiko. And the ones that I have seen on eBay are fairly inexpensive. So if you're watching this, don't go buy the Kikos out from under me. I want at least one. So, but yeah, those are my 3 unicorn pipes as of right now. I certainly could list a number of other artisan pipes that are being made right now. But I feel like that's more just an issue of, you know, money, me calling that certain maker and going, hey, I want one of your pipes. Not necessarily a unicorn pipe, not something I have to hunt for. But back to that, hunting for them. It poses a certain issue where I live because there are not a whole lot of people. The state of Montana sits right around 1 million people, population-wise. And if you've ever taken out a map of the United States and looked at Montana, Montana is a fairly large state land-wise. But those people are spread few and far between. So the biggest city in Montana is Billings, which is around 110, 115,000 people. Bozeman, where I live, is around 40,000 people, 45,000. And Missoula is around 85,000. And then there's Great Falls in there, which I'm not sure about the population, but I want to say it's between 50 and 80,000 as well. But for larger population centers, and you know, Montana not being that old of a state, it makes it harder for the hunting of pipes. I'll come across them every once in a while in an antique store. Like yesterday's video, I did find a 7LA Capri Ebony 65 in an antique store here in town. Now, there is only one seller at that particular antique store that usually has pipes. And I actually did a video about them. If you go and watch a day in the life video I did a few months back, you'll see me talking there. But right now they've had for actually a few months these Kirstens that they can't get rid of because the price on them is way too high for what they are. You know, and they actually had a not Savinelli label as a Savinelli, and you know, wanting $35 for a used yellow bowl when I can buy a brand new one for that much, and just things like that. And then another antique store here I went in at one time, they had a bunch of K Woodies that were all in really rough shape, and they wanted 15 bucks a piece for them, and I looked right at that and I go, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, here in Montana it makes things a little bit harder just walking into a antique store and trying to find a pipe. I have to go to eBay and also, you know, sites like smokingpipes.com to find good estate pipe finds and unicorn finds. And you go to a place like smokingpipes.com, and we all understand they have to make money. That's how they stay in business. And you're not getting a deal on it. You're often paying exactly what it's worth. And it's just the way it is. And, you know, on eBay you will find some deals. You have to watch out for scams and various things like that. But for me, finding the estate pipes in my area has just been a little bit tougher, finding things of value. And I'm not saying that K Woodies and Yellow Bulls and Dr. Graybos aren't of value. I actually have two Dr. Graybows that I love very much, but they're not my favorites by any stretch of the imagination. But it's just harder. It's a lot harder to find estate pipes that you would actually want to spend time on. So there is definitely something to be said for living in a place with more population and that is older. People just haven't been here that long either, if you think about it. So, you know, as opposed to some place in the East Coast like Pennsylvania or Connecticut, or you know, I say Pennsylvania knowing there's a lot of YTPC members there, and Connecticut knowing that there are two very prominent YTPC members there, Matches 860 and the Grateful Piper. And the Grateful Piper actually found a Dunhill inner tube pipe at a antique store, which I would love to sometimes do, or love to do, and find something like that. But yeah, it's just a lot harder here. And that's my story on unicorn pipes and estate pipe hunting. So, before I get too rambly, because I realize that both yesterday's video and today's video have been a very rambly of sort, you know, still on topic, but very rambly. But before I get too far on that, until I see you guys again, be kind and good to each other.